Chapter 91 Shocking Haotian City. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After the new year, Haotian sect experienced two heavy snowfalls. Chu Xinghe was sitting in the Tibetan Kung Pagoda, looking at the heavy snow falling outside with great emotion. What a wonderful Tibetan Kung Fu pagoda. Wouldn't it be nice to light it up to keep all the sect disciples warm? It's a pity, we really can't do this, because Chu Xinghe once tentatively asked the Great Elder what would happen if someone burned down the Tibetan skill pagoda. The Great Elder only has two words, Ling. Listen, what a merciful punishment. I, Chu Xinghe, disdain such a merciful punishment. On this day, Chu Xinghe was fishing in the hidden Gong pagoda when senior brother Xinghe sent a message. Junior brother Xinghe, the Great Elder asked you to come over. It seems to be about recruiting disciples. After Xinghe finished speaking, Chu Xinghe dropped his exercises, got up and ran out. I can't live another day studying and fishing every day, and I can finally do something serious. When they arrived at Ouyang Palace, sure enough, the Great Elder talked about recruiting disciples. Haotian sect selects countless disciples from overseas every year, and these disciples will also receive news after the New Year's Day whether they are qualified to enter Haotian city to accept the second-level selection. From the Lunar New Year to now, disciples from all over the world who received the news were extremely excited. Countless people from all over the world gathered in Haotian city, just hoping to pass the second level of selection and become a Haotian sect disciple. The Great Elder briefly explained some things that Chu Xinghe should pay attention to. As for the specific operation, the Great Elder did not participate, but let Chu Xinghe figure it out by himself. When we walked out of Ouyang Palace, the sky cleared up. This time I really cleared away the clouds and saw the blue sky. Senior brother Xinghe, please take me with you when it comes to selecting disciples. Ma Liang didn't know who jumped out of that corner. Take you? Snort. Don't even think about it. With your false blessing, Ma Liang asked when something good happened. Are you still going to push forward? There is no door. No, you are at a critical moment in your cultivation now. How can you be distracted? Chu Xinghe looked serious. Ma Liang looked touched. Look, this is senior brother Xinghe. He always thinks about his junior brothers. But senior brother Xinghe, you only think about your junior brothers and you have forgotten about it. This will also delay your cultivation. Senior brother Xinghe is indeed a person who always thinks of others and even forgets himself. However, Ma Liang did not leave, but looked like he was hesitating to speak. Finally, Ma Liang made up his mind and said, Brother Xinghe, I won't hide it from you. In fact, I have selfish motives for wanting to go this time. A group of people I know also want to enter the Haotian sect, but they didn't even pass the first-level selection. I just want to see if senior brother Xinghe can give them another chance. Senior brother Xinghe, don't worry, I definitely don't mean anything else. I just want to show you, senior brother. If it doesn't work, then forget it. Never mind. Damn, is there such a good thing? Ma Liang, senior brother blamed you wrongly. If you had told me earlier that you were planning to get involved in the relationship, how could your senior brother reject you? You haven't passed the first-level auditions, right? I asked you where to find such a peerless good loser. Sure enough, it's a new year and a new atmosphere. Ma Liang, your aura of good fortune is back again. Ma Liang, this matter is related to the sect's inheritance, but the first-level selection is not entirely without fault. Since you have spoken, let's follow along. Senior brother, please help you take a look at them. Ma Liang is stupid. Tears came down. The words he said just now were actually against the sect's rules, but senior brother Xinghe was the person he respected the most and was treated as a relative by him, so he dared to say it. Ma Liang even thought that his senior brother would scold him, but I never expected it. Sure enough. I, Ma Liang, have long been the closest person to me in the eyes of senior brother Xinghe. Go ahead and contact those friends you mentioned. Senior brother will try his best to help you. Ma Liang left with a moved face, and Chu Xinghe started singing Good Day. Life is full of surprises, and Ma Liang has truly lived up to me. Is there anything more exciting than a sect recruiting disciples and building connections? If you want to spread this matter, ask the outside world what they think of the Haotian sect. You have a shady secret behind recruiting disciples. If we choose a dog, we won't choose your Haotian sect, so what does it mean to choose a group of loser disciples? Relying on the rumors of connections, that's really killing two birds with one stone. Chu Xinghe selected a group of junior brothers to follow him to Haotian City. This group of junior brothers Chu Xinghe was strictly selected to highlight a person's worldliness. Anyone who said that he would strictly follow the sect's rules to select a new batch of disciples was rejected by Chu Xinghe. However, Chu Xinghe hesitated and said that sometimes one has to consider human nature when choosing a disciple, so Chu Xinghe directly joined the team without saying a word. Is selecting disciples a simple sect inheritance? That's human nature. Ma Liang, the deputy leader of the Human World Sophistication Group, personally led the group and set off for Haotian City with the group leader Chu Xinghe. This time, there was no need for a teleportation array. After all, Haotian City is at the very edge of the Haotian Mountains. It's far away, but it won't waste much time. The sect leader Gu Mingqiao and the eldest elder came to see him off in person, without a word of unnecessary nonsense, and their eyes were filled with anticipation. Haotian City is the largest city under the Haotian Mountains. It goes without saying that it is prosperous here, with the Haotian sect as its backer. Haotian City is filled with people from all over the world. Some come here to do business and trade, and some come here with dreams and eager to join the Haotian sect, but Haotian sect is not so easy to enter. It doesn't mean that you go to the sect gate and kneel for 3 days and 3 nights. When the sect elders look at it, oh, this kid is so sincere, come into my sect. Let's put it this way, there are no less than 100 people who kneel to death every year in front of the Haotian sect. The Haotian sect emphasizes benevolence and justice, and they will definitely be given a coffin after their death. In Haotian City, you can see countless young people with dreams shouting that Haotian sect has a bright future. You can also see some people who are unwilling to leave after losing the second-tier selection in previous years and stayed in Haotian City eager to fight again next year. You can even see some old men and women who have stayed in Haotian City to grow old, but still persuade their descendants to participate in the Haotian sect's assessment. Haotian sect is a dream for many people. The place where the dream begins is also the place where the dream ends. However, the inner sect of the Haotian sect only recruits 3,000 disciples every year. Those who can enter the Haotian sect are all selected from 10,000, and even the outer sect is by no means accessible to ordinary people. Now that the selection of Haotian sect disciples for the second level is approaching, all the young people from all over the world are extremely nervous. Last year, Elder He of Thunder Palace came to supervise the election in person. This year I don't know which elder it will be. Is there any difference between these elders? Of course. In the 18th palace of Haotian sect, the elders have different personalities. Last year I heard that there were a few extremely talented people, but they were not chosen because they were not liked by Elder He. Ah. Is this so excessive? The Haotian sect is too. Don't talk nonsense. How does the Haotian sect exist? How many people dream of entering the Haotian sect every year? Are you missing 1 or 2? Don't be a great elder this year. Brother, what do you say? The great elder is the most strict person. It is said that the last time the great elder came to select disciples, he could not choose enough 3,000 people. Is it so scary that the entire Haotian city, and even the elites of the world, are now discussing and worrying? The second level of selection is a fate-determining selection. If you are selected in this round, you will basically lose the qualification to enter the Haotian sect. Perhaps you can only stay here and wait like those unwilling grandparents in Haotian City. Let your descendants be better than others, so this round of fate-determining assessment is also about the right time, right place, and right people. If your character is right for the elders in this assessment, maybe your talent is slightly worse and you can still pass, but on the contrary, you will be gone. Everyone is waiting for the Haotian sect's elders responsible for supervising the selection of disciples to be announced. Amid great expectations, the person who will supervise the Haotian sect's selection of disciples this time has finally been announced. Chu Xinghe. Which palace does Elder Chu Xinghe belong to? Is there Elder Chu Xinghe in the 18th palace? Chu Xinghe is not an elder, he is a disciple. Oh my God, the person supervising the selection and assessment this time is actually Chu Xinghe. Didn't Chu Xinghe just join Haotian sect last year? How is that possible? Is it wrong? Could it be that the Haotian sect has an elder named Chu Xinghe? As soon as the news came out, Haotian city exploded. Who is Chu Xinghe? There is no one who can come to Haotian city who doesn't know. Over the past year, Haotian sect has been in the limelight, and Chu Xinghe is the number one among the younger generation, but who would have thought that Chu Xinghe would be appointed to supervise the selection and assessment this time? This is a qualification that only elders and even the first elder of each palace have. Haotian sect actually appointed Chu Xinghe. The eyes of countless young geniuses were filled with shock. Before they left home and entered Haotian city, countless of them shouted to the sky that one day I will surpass Chu Xinghe and become the number one among the new young generation in the world. But today, these young geniuses have realized how innocent they are. Supervise the selection and assessment. This is no longer a question of whether the sect values him or not, this is a matter of training him as a future sect master. Countless people thought they had placed Chu Xinghe in a high enough position, but now it seems that Chu Xinghe has already reached a level that they could not even imagine. Last year's Chu Xinghe was just like them, standing here waiting for selection. This year's Chu Xinghe looked down at the people and has become a being that determines the fate of each of them. The news ignited the entire Haotian city, and for a while there was a turmoil in Haotian city. I come from the pig-killing village on the edge of Kaoshan village. Chu Xinghe and I are from the same hometown. I'm from Bianshui village, and I'm related to Chu Xinghe. My surname is Chu. I have checked our family's genealogy and found that Chu Xinghe is the descendant of my great-grandfather. To be honest, my mother once had a little-known story with Chu Xinghe. If you want to hear it, please buy this book 2 or 3 things about my mother and Chu Xinghe for 1 low-grade spiritual stone. You are innocent. So what about Chu Xinghe? Young master, I am extremely talented. As long as I enter the Haotian sect, I will be the one to supervise the selection and assessment next year. I come from the faraway city of Ouyang. I was lucky enough to meet Chu Xinghe. It was Chu Xinghe who made me give up my dream of entering the Xingyue sect. Even if my father didn't believe that I could enter the Haotian sect, he still let me sleep. But I still firmly believe that I can become a disciple of Haotian sect, Chu Xinghe. Look at me, that even before the Chu Xinghe people arrived, Haotian city had already resounded with its name, $window, _Taboola equals window, _Taboola, Taboola.push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, Taboola below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 92, with Ma Liang in hand, I have the useless guy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Haotian city gathers elites from all over the world, and now it is in turmoil because of Chu Xinghe. From the moment it was confirmed that the person to be selected was Chu Xinghe, the only topic in the entire Haotian city was about Chu Xinghe. What are Chu Xinghe's hobbies? What is Chu Xinghe's personality like? Some people even started to ask about Chu Xinghe's favorite colors, and you don't know until you ask, but you will be shocked when you ask. Some people who used various relationships to find disciples of Haotian sect in Haotian city to inquire about Chu Xinghe quickly got all kinds of information about Chu Xinghe, but after listening to the description of the disciples of Haotian sect, their first reaction was, is this a person? Are you sure this is not a saint? It's okay to have extraordinary talent, but also so popular. After 1 year of entering the sect, he has risen from an ordinary disciple to a selected disciple. This is simply a legend, okay? As for what Chu Xinghe likes. The disciples of Haotian sect said that our senior brother Xinghe is the most righteous person they have ever seen, so he probably also likes people with high moral character. This made all parties feel at a loss. High moral character, how can this be shown? In the past, the elders who came to supervise the selection liked rare treasures, magic weapons, and some special collections. As long as you have a hobby, then everyone can always use various means to match your hobby, so as to get extra points as much as possible during the selection process. But how to show high moral character? Write it on your face. Then Haotian city saw a very strange change. In the past, geniuses from all sides gathered together, and everyone was fighting for a place in Haotian sect. After all, there were only so many places, and everyone was in a competitive relationship, so that before the selection began, the competitions between the parties were endless, and each of them tried their best to show their strength, for fear that no one would notice them. But this time, Haotian City was surprisingly quiet. In the past, if you accidentally bumped into someone while walking on the streets of Haotian City, it was possible that they would look at you and then do something to you, and then it was not impossible for the two of them to fight. But now, if you walk on the street and bump into someone, before you can even open your mouth, the other person will say, "I'm sorry, brother, I accidentally bumped into you, brother, I apologize to you here." If you drop something, 3 or 5 people will pop out to help you pick it up in a second. What does it mean to leave your door unlocked at night and not pick up lost items on the road? In the past 2 days, Haotian City has highlighted the idea of leaving your door unlocked at night and not picking up lost items on the road. In the past, if you lost something important, the probability of not being able to find it back was 99%, and the person who lost the item would cry to death. Now, if you lose something, you don't even have to look for it, and the probability of it being returned to you is 99%, and the person who picks up the item will cry to death if he can't find the owner. Although Haotian City used to arrange people to clean the streets and alleys every day, due to the large population base, it seems that there will still be dirty things every day, but now, it's almost impossible to find a piece of trash in Haotian City. It is said that after the news that senior Brother Xinghe likes people with high moral character came out, more than 400 Tianjios completely put down their Tianjiao airs and swept the streets with brooms. The whole Haotian City was clean from top to bottom, inside and outside. Even the corners were not spared. We don't know whether the people are high moral character or not, but the hygiene of Haotian City is outstanding. It has to be said that there are still ruthless people among the Tianjios. In 2 days, Haotian City has added several books. Chu Xinghe's Hobbies. Chu Xinghe's Unknown Secrets. Chu Xinghe in my eyes. These 3 books are the most popular, and in such a spotlight, Chu Xinghe finally came to Haotian City with his social skills group. The whole Haotian City was a scene of thousands of people emptying the streets, and everyone gathered at the gate entrance of Haotian City to welcome Chu Xinghe's arrival. Countless Tianjiao also wanted to see what the legendary Chu Xinghe looked like. Chu Xinghe led Ma Liang and others, and everyone they passed by was dumbfounded. If Ma Liang hadn't led the way, Chu Xinghe suspected that it would take him half a day just to enter the city. What are those people who shouted Chu Xinghe? I am your fan. Besides, why are you my fans shouting to Ma Liang who was walking in front? That's not Chu Xinghe. That's Ma Liang. You fake fan. And what's the matter with all the girls wearing purple clothes? You all like to have charm. There is no way. In the book Chu Xinghe's Unknown Secret, an insider revealed that senior Brother Xinghe once said in public that purple matches junior sister, which is very charming. So Chu Xinghe's favorite color should be purple. Killing all the way to the Haotian villa in the center of Haotian City, Deacon Yang personally greeted them at the gate of the villa. Seeing Deacon Yang standing outside the villa waiting for Chu Xinghe, many people nodded secretly. The rumors were true. Chu Xinghe's status in the Haotian sect was already on par with that of the elders. It was unheard of that a disciple could have a deacon-level figure come out of the palace to greet him. Chu Xinghe finally breathed a sigh of relief after following Deacon Yang into the Haotian palace. In fact, even Deacon Yang did not expect that the news that Chu Xinghe would serve as the supervisor this time would cause such a sensation. In the past, when the selection of elders was announced, Haotian City would trigger various chain reactions, but compared with the reaction caused by Chu Xinghe this time, it was somewhat different. After personally arranging a place for Chu Xinghe to rest, Deacon Yang smiled and said, "Xinghe, I have prepared a banquet for you tonight." "Thank you, Deacon Yang, but don't be so polite. There is no need for a welcoming banquet in our own home. Let's talk about the recruitment of disciples first." Chu Xinghe looked serious, and Deacon Yang nodded secretly. It is Chu Xinghe who deserves it. When he saw the welcome outside, Deacon Yang also thought about whether Chu Xinghe would be proud of these. After all, he is a young man, but now Deacon Yang knows that he is wrong. Xinghe is not comparable to ordinary disciples. Even in the face of such a star-studded moon, Xinghe is not moved at all. This is the real peerless genius. Chu Xinghe didn't know what Deacon Yang was thinking about, welcoming banquet. There is no need for this at all. I came here to start the useless stream. In order to select the useless person I dreamed of, I have to race against time. How can I have time to go to the welcoming banquet? After I have selected all the useless people and arranged this batch of new disciples clearly, the punishment of the sect master and the loss of the sect will be my best welcoming banquet. Soon, Deacon Yang sent the list of all the disciples who came to Haotian City to participate in the assessment and selection to Chu Xinghe. Chu Xinghe was a little dizzy when he saw the list of names piled up on more than a dozen tables, but I am also a man who has experienced the baptism of the hidden power tower, so this is nothing. Chu Xinghe opened a list casually and his face changed drastically. My goodness, this list is not as simple as just one name. There are also various notes about this disciple and various data and rankings of the first round of selection, but looking at the introduction above, Chu Xinghe cried, Deacon Yang, the disciples you selected are a bit too conservative. Look at this. 8 points in the physical test. 9 points of spiritual power talent. Can you barely call yourself a genius? This kind of amazing achievement can barely be called a genius. Is this pure genius good? Is the list you gave me full of this kind of stuff? My Haotian sect is the #1 sect in the world. What's the point of recruiting all the geniuses? Don't I have any face? Cultivating useless people is what my Haotian sect wants all my life. And this, 9 points of spiritual power and physical fitness, the evaluation is released every 50 years. Isn't this a scam? This kind of disciple does not fit the style of useless people at all. After reading several lists in a row, Chu Xinghe frowned more and more. Deacon Yang was also lost in thought when he saw Chu Xinghe frowning. Alas, the candidate disciples selected by himself this time are actually very outstanding, but Xinghe is obviously not satisfied. But Xinghe, you can't ask others the same way you ask yourself. After all, you are a genius that only appears once in 1,000 years in our Haotian sect. These people are naturally far behind you, but they can barely be considered geniuses. Brother Xinghe, these are actually okay. Compared with you, they are definitely worlds apart. Even if they are much worse than me, Ma Liang, they are already very outstanding overall. Ma Liang watched for a long time and sighed. Hearing Ma Liang's words, Deacon Yang nodded vigorously. You? How many points did you get at the time? Chu Xinghe was stunned. Ma Liang seemed to be ranked first among the 3,000 disciples at the time. I almost forgot that he was ranked first on the Tianjiao list last year. Speaking of this, Ma Liang's eyes lit up. Brother Xinghe, my score is double 10, and I was rated as a genius that only appears once in a century. But after saying that, Ma Liang glanced at Chu Xinghe and immediately lost his temper. Although he didn't know Brother Xinghe's score, his double 10 was really terrible in front of Brother Xinghe. But thinking back, Brother Xinghe was known as a peerless genius that only appears once in 1,000 years. Isn't it reasonable that I am worse than Brother Xinghe, who only appears once in 100 years? Chu Xinghe continued to look at the list, and the more he looked, the more helpless he became. He was too happy too early. With the disciples currently recorded on the list, it would be too difficult to select useless people from them. Thinking of this, Chu Xinghe looked at Ma Liang. Ma Liang, have you contacted those useless people, those who were not selected last time? Ma Liang was overjoyed. Replying to Brother Xinghe, I have contacted them and they are on their way. Very good. Chu Xinghe was happy in his heart. Sure enough, it had to be Ma Liang. Although you have cheated me so many times, this time brother was extremely satisfied with you. It's up to you, General Ma, to create a precedent for the useless people in my Haotian sect. Let Ma Liang urge these people to come quickly. Chu Xinghe can't help but start looking forward to it. Ma Liang is in hand. I have the useless people. Chapter 93, First persuade the top 3 to withdraw to liven up the atmosphere. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ma Liang went to contact people and social skills. Chu Xinghe stayed alone in the room full of rosters, feeling sad. 9 points, 8 points, 9.5 points, what is this? Are there so many geniuses in this world? Do you geniuses have any business? Why come to Haotian sect? Wouldn't it be better to find a small sect to counterattack and take the sect to take off? Do you know what it means to help others in need? If it really doesn't work, you can go to Wudi City and lead Wudi City to surpass Haotian sect and become the best in the world. It's exciting to think about it. Xinghe, how did you read it? Deacon Yang walked in from outside, holding a roster with a gold border in his hand. Hello, Deacon Yang, I haven't finished reading it yet, but it's all good. The best is here. Deacon Yang was smiling, and Chu Xinghe was confused. Is there anything better? Deacon Yang is really unreliable. Soon, this list was delivered to Chu Xinghe. Chu Xinghe almost exploded when he opened the list. There were only 10 people on this list, all of whom were the kind with full qualifications. Let's put it this way, they were the kind who could enter the Haotian sect just by looking at the description. I have asked the 3 people at the top to come and pay their respects in advance. Xinghe, take a look. Deacon Yang quickly arranged for someone to bring 3 young men. Meet Lord Xinghe. The 3 young men seemed a little nervous and humble. The 3 then introduced themselves. The first one was called Mo Kai, who was 17 years old this year. The list used a full 5 pages to record his story. What about learning martial arts at the age of 3, getting started at the age of 5, killing wolves at the age of 7 and killing tigers at the age of 8, and making rapid progress every year. He was the kind of person who could be seen at first glance. But with such a good talent, why did you come to my Haotian sect? Did my Haotian sect provoke you? The 2 people who followed were not much different. You feel wrong to say that they are geniuses. After the 3 of them finished introducing themselves, they waited expectantly for Chu Xinghe to speak, and Deacon Yang was also smiling on the side, because according to the convention of previous years, the top 3 are also called the top 3, and the top 3 do not need to be assessed like ordinary disciples, and can pass directly. So Deacon Yang thought that Chu Xinghe must have passed with a stroke of the pen. Then Chu Xinghe waved his pen under the gaze of Deacon Yang. Persuade to withdraw. What the hell? Deacon Yang almost thought he was blind. When he was sure that Chu Xinghe had directly crossed out the names of the 3 people and wrote persuade to withdraw instead of passing, Deacon Yang was stunned. You don't meet the requirements of my Haotian sect, please choose another place. Chu Xinghe said lightly. When these words came out, not only Deacon Yang was stunned, but also the 3 Tianjiao. What the hell? We are ranked in the top 3 among the audition disciples this year. We are not the top 3 who were persuaded to withdraw. Is it wrong? But the 3 of them didn't have time to make any rebuttals, and Chu Xinghe waved his hand, and the social group below took the 3 of them out. Xinghe, this. Deacon Yang's eyes turned black, and he was stunned by this set of reverse operations. Deacon Yang, you don't know, the information of these 3 people is too perfect, but it makes me feel a little strange. I seriously suspect that they may be spies that the demon sect wants to use to infiltrate my Haotian sect. Deacon Yang was speechless. Xinghe, isn't your reason a bit too far-fetched? Even if they may be spies, shouldn't we take them in and observe them first? Is it okay to reject the top 3 without saying anything? Chu Xinghe looked serious. Is the reason far-fetched? This is not a question of whether it is far-fetched or not. This reason is outrageous, but I can't do anything about it. The records of these 3 guys are so damn perfect that I can't find a reason to reject them. That's because I can't find a reason. Otherwise, let alone the top 3, the top 10 would be gone now. Compared with Deacon Yang's confusion, the people in the human relationship group looked at Senior Brother Xinghe with a serious face. To be honest, their first reaction to Senior Brother Xinghe's behavior of directly defeating the top 3 just now was also confused, but soon they thought of what Senior Brother Xinghe did in Lingcheng. When Senior Brother Xinghe first arrived in Lingcheng. In the Battle of Lingcheng, he went against all odds and defeated Tianyi Spirit Mine in seconds to create the shortest spiritual mine transaction record in history. The whole world thought that Senior Brother Xinghe was a fool, but what was the result? Now everyone who mentioned this matter wanted to give them a big bag, so the spies mentioned by Senior Brother Xinghe are probably very likely. Even if they are not spies, these three people are definitely problematic. Senior Brother Xinghe has always acted in an unrestrained way, how can we figure it out? Although Deacon Yang was confused, he also knew about the lynching incident, so when the top three were killed in 1 second, although he didn't know what Xinghe was going to do, he could only wait and see. Outside Beppu, Mo Kai and the other top three were left on the street with a bewildered look on their faces. At this moment, there were people everywhere pointing and talking about the three of them. Just now, when the three of them followed Deacon Yang in, they were really high-spirited. Countless people were envious and jealous of them. Look, these are the top three, they don't need to be tested at all, they are directly inner disciples, how enviable. But in less than a quarter of an hour, the top three were thrown out. When people heard that the top three were rejected by Chu Xinghe, there was an uproar outside the villa. Fuck you. What kind of heaven-defying operation is Chu Xinghe doing? 3. All the top three were rejected. They don't even have to participate in the assessment and just get out. I know this Mo Kai, he is extremely talented and is the #1 genius this time, but he was rejected by Chu Xinghe. Isn't it possible that Chu Xinghe is afraid of the talents of these three people and is afraid that they will be surpassed in the future? Young man, you have a great imagination. Who is Chu Xinghe? Are these three guys worthy? Various discussions came one after another. On the first day of entering Haotian city, Chu Xinghe asked the top three to get out directly, which shocked the entire Haotian city. In the end, all parties speculated that these three people should not have talent problems, but they must have a bad character. The top three left Haotian city cursing. When the three left, tears fell. It would be fine if they were rejected, but they also got the reputation of not having a good character. Who can we go to for justice? The three of them stood at the gate of Haotian city and shouted that we were going to Wudi city. In the future, we must lead Wudi city to trample Haotian sect under our feet. When the news spread to Beppu, Ma Liang shouted that he wanted to go out and teach them a lesson, but was stopped by Chu Xinghe. What to teach them? Look how good they are. Enter Wudi city and work hard to surpass Haotian sect in this life. What's wrong with that? The three of them really lived up to their good intentions. Come on, I'm optimistic about you. Ma Liang, who was stopped, sighed on the side. This is only Brother Xinghe. If it were anyone else, they would dare to scold like this, and they would definitely regret it. No wonder Brother Xinghe looked down on these three guys. They couldn't even stand such a small test, and they were still in the top three. I, who was the first last year, felt ashamed. Brother Xinghe, the person I introduced is here. Ma Liang looked around and saw that there was no one around. He carefully introduced the person he contacted. All the people I contacted this time came from a small country called Muyue. This small country is adjacent to the Ma family where Ma Liang is, and is considered a friendly neighbor, highlighting the human relationship. Speaking of this Muyue country, although it is a very small country with only one city, it is quite famous. Muyue is rich in geniuses, and all geniuses produced by Muyue have one characteristic: they will have a special physique of wood spirit. Under normal circumstances, those with special spirits are geniuses among geniuses, but the geniuses of Muyue are a little different. Special spirits bring them special talents, and all the geniuses of Muyue have mastered a thing called wood spirit. Power, how to say this thing, it meets the three elements of pit father, rare, difficult to practice, and useless. The only function of wood spirit power so far is to treat people, but what about the effect of that treatment? As long as you have a pill, you can't choose them to treat you. It's not that no one has challenged to cultivate geniuses from Muyue country, such as Dongyue Pavilion. Although the resources of the sect are very poor, fortunately, the disciples of Muyue country are very competitive. I heard that the best one's healing ability is almost catching up with the lowest grade hemostatic pill. Just ask if you are strong. The geniuses of Muyue country are like eagles in a glass house. The future is bright, but as long as you dare to spread your wings and fly, you can be paralyzed wherever you fly. The reputation of the strongest genius who touches porcelain is well deserved by Muyue country. After listening to Ma Liang's introduction, Chu Xinghe was stunned. Senior Brother Xinghe, I also know that Muyue country has become a joke in the outside world, but they are really talented. I really can't bear to see the geniuses of Muyue country regretting their lives one by one. Chu Xinghe didn't hear what Ma Liang said, but at this moment Chu Xinghe just wanted to hug Ma Liang and take a bite. Ma Fujiang. From today on, you are the first Fujiang in my eyes, Chu Xinghe. My God! There is such a surprise. I have been thinking hard for so long, and I have only found those broken lists sent by Deacon Yang. It is no exaggeration to say that even if I select from the bottom up, the disciples I select will definitely not be too bad in the end, because the foundation is there. With such qualifications, how can I create a precedent for the useless class? But the genius of Muyue country sent by Ma Liang is the peerless genius I am looking for. It consumes the resources of the sect. It is useless. It is difficult to be an auxiliary. Such a group of people, entering the sect, I would like to call them the strongest. How many people are there? Chu Xinghe's eyes were red. 300. Brother Xinghe, I also know that the number may be too many, we cannot have so many. As long as we can give them a little chance. Only 300. Keep them all, Ma Liang. Chu Xinghe's eyes were tearful. Ma Fu had misjudged you before. With these 300 Muyue warriors in hand, how can I lose even if I lie down? Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 94 Mysterious Operation. Wait and see. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In ancient times, the 300 Spartan warriors were invincible. Now, with the 300 geniuses of Muyue, I can achieve great things. Chu Xinghe hugged Ma Liang's shoulders. At this moment, his heart was trembling with excitement. He couldn't even find a suitable word to praise General Ma in front of him. Ma Liang was also very excited at this moment. The people who recommended Muyue were really because of human relationships. After all, there was also his friend who grew up with him, Mu Bai, the prince of Muyue. Ma Liang knew that all the attributes of his friend were full, but only the special spiritual power of Muyue limited his growth. Originally, he recommended it to senior brother Xinghe with selfish motives, but he never expected that senior brother Xinghe would accept it all. Although Ma Liang couldn't figure out what senior brother Xinghe was doing, he was sure that senior brother Xinghe must have thought of a way to help Muyue change his fate. Soon, Ma Liang found his friends from Muyue. Mu Bai rushed to Haotian city without stopping after receiving the news from Ma Liang entering Haotian sect. That was something Mu Bai dared not even dream of. Muyue country was notorious. Would Haotian sect, the world's #1 sect, look down on them? But even if there was only a 1 in 10,000 chance, Mu Bai was unwilling to give up, so Mu Bai almost rushed to Haotian city without sleep, just hoping that God would open his eyes and give Muyue country a chance. He also longed for Haotian sect to have the ability to change the fate of Muyue country, but Mu Bai became more and more nervous along the way, especially after entering Haotian city, looking at those famous geniuses. Mu Bai never raised his head, even others laughed on the spot. When they heard that they were from Muyue country, don't you have any idea of what kind of character Muyue country is? Xingyue's sect let you cheat so much that I tremble when I think about it now, let alone the top 10 sects. Even the slightly larger sects now would not recruit the geniuses of Muyue. Many people even claimed that Muyue would be buried in the long river of history within 50 years, but today, people from Muyue appeared in Haotian sect. Muyue was drunk? No way. You don't think that a super giant like Haotian sect would choose your Muyue? Under various blows, the confidence that Mu Bai had finally built up was completely dissipated, although his little friend Ma Liang said that he was definitely a person who could speak in front of senior brother Xinghe, but Mu Bai knew the current situation of Muyue. Mu Bai felt that even if Ma Liang could really speak, even if Chu Xinghe really gave Ma Liang face, leaving himself behind might be the extreme, but what should the rest of the people do? Each of them is the best genius in Muyue. Their various test scores are definitely at the level of Tianjiao, but it's that damn spiritual power, from generation to generation in Muyue, I don't know how many talented people can only be dimmed for their whole lives. Mu Bai dreams of changing Muyu country and changing its fate, but to this day, Muyu country has been completely ignored, and many sects even refuse to give Muyu country's geniuses even the qualification to take a test. Mu Bai was sad. Mu Bai, past. All past. Ma Liang rushed in from outside. He hugged the dejected Mu Bai. The other Muyu country geniuses also surrounded him, because they knew very well that this was the moment to decide their fate. From the moment they stepped into Haotian city, they knew that there was only one person who could decide their fate this time, and that was Chu Xinghe. If they returned disappointed again this time, they would have to go back and live an ordinary life. Everyone looked at Ma Liang nervously, and Ma Liang didn't care about keeping them in suspense, and directly explained the whole story. After listening to what Ma Liang said, there was a silence period of nearly half a minute at the scene. In fact, at the moment they saw Ma Liang, many Muyu country's geniuses were ready to be disappointed. Several people even started to pack up and leave, but the news that Ma Liang brought was that all 300 people stayed and joined the Haotian sect. And they didn't need to go through the next round of assessment, they passed directly. They became inner disciples of the Haotian sect directly. When hearing this news, Mu Bai's first reaction was that Ma Liang was talking nonsense. But after confirming that Ma Liang was definitely not talking nonsense, Mu Bai's reaction was, "Did Chu Xinghe hear it clearly? We are Muyu country. We are Muyu country, which is known as the most pitfall genius. Is Chu Xinghe crazy?" Before entering Haotian city, Mu Bai heard about Chu Xinghe. To be honest, Mu Bai couldn't see through Chu Xinghe, the youngest disciple supervisor in the history of Haotian sect, but this youngest supervisor came to Haotian city on the first day he came to Haotian city and directly came to the top 3 to cheer up the whole Haotian city. This mysterious operation made many people stunned, but Chu Xinghe was so famous that even if this method was completely incomprehensible, no one dared to doubt it, and now Chu Xinghe actually agreed to accept 300 geniuses from Muyu. This move. Mu Bai was dumbfounded. Without bothering to explain anything to Mu Bai, Ma Liang took Mu Bai and the others directly to Haotian Villa. Mu Bai also saw the legendary Chu Xinghe for the first time. He was not as arrogant and looked down on others as he had imagined. The Chu Xinghe in front of Mu Bai felt like the warmth and sunshine of a big brother next door. He first asked about some of the situations in Muyu country, and then said that what Ma Liang said was right. Haotian sect was willing to keep people from Muyu country. And finally he personally said that he would provide the greatest resources to the geniuses of Muyu country and train them as the highest paid disciples. After saying this, Mu Bai was completely dumbfounded. It is said that Chu Xinghe does things without leaving any trace, but he has never failed. When you find a trace of him, he has already won. Mu Bai really saw it today. Lord Chu Xinghe. Mu Bai said. Just like Ma Liang, just call me Brother Xinghe. You will soon be disciples of Haotian sect. Don't be so restrained. That's right. Everyone in the sect knows that Brother Xinghe is not only a righteous man, but also enthusiastic to help every fellow disciple. You will know it in the future. Brother Xinghe. Mu Bai said in a daze. Brother Xinghe, Mu Bai asked rashly, why did you choose our Muyu kingdom? Because you are good enough. People in the world can't see the excellence of your Muyu kingdom, but they don't understand you and think you are useless. But in my eyes, you are not useless. You are the best people in the world. Believe in yourself and believe in Haotian sect. When Chu Xinghe said this, Mu Bai burst into tears. For how many years has no one said this about Muyu kingdom? In everyone's mouth, Muyu kingdom is a joke, but today, for the first time since Mu Bai grew up, he felt the warmth of the outside world and the attention from others. My parents gave me life, and Brother Xinghe knows me. Walala. Mu Bai and a group of Muyu country geniuses all knelt on one knee. Senior Brother Xinghe, today Senior Brother Xinghe gave me a chance as a disciple of Muyu country. I, Mu Bai, swear here that the disciples of Muyu country will work hard and live up to Senior Brother Xinghe's high expectations and the expectations of the sect. The disciples of Muyu country will be loyal to the sect in this life and will never change until death. All the disciples of Mu Yu country all spoke and followed Mu Bai to swear together. Looking at Mu Bai in front of him, Chu Xinghe nodded secretly. What a good group of children, kind and loyal. The key is that they are talented and have the attribute of cheating their fathers. Just ask where to find such a peerless disciple. Don't worry, just because you Mu Yu country are so grateful and can cheat your fathers, I will protect you until death. Let Ma Liang send Mu Bai and others to rest. Chu Xinghe asked the other people in the human relations group to directly register the names of all 300 Mu Yu country geniuses. Then, with a stroke of the pen, 300 Muyue warriors became the first batch of candidates exempted from the assessment for the Haotian sect's recruitment of disciples. When the news came out, the whole Haotian city almost exploded. What the hell? Chu Xinghe selected 300 Muyue disciples after defeating the top 3 in a second. Are you sure you didn't say that to me? If the operation of defeating the top 3 in a second is still somewhat understandable, then how to explain these 300 Muyue warriors? The geniuses of Muyue have long been famous. In the past, all the sects that challenged the Muyue warriors were sent away with tears. You are really too good. Our temple is really small and can't accommodate the great gods of your Muyue country. Please find another job. Listen. The expulsion from the sect is so innovative. In recent years, Muyue has been seeking shelter everywhere. But any sect that hears that someone from Muyue has been exempted from the test, this time Chu Xinghe also exempted the test. But what does it mean to directly accept the inner sect? Deacon Yang almost fainted when he heard this. It's fine to recruit 3 top students at the beginning, but now you are recruiting 300 Mu Yu disciples. Are you going to ruin this recruitment of disciples? Deacon Yang also felt that this matter was a bit too exciting, so he summoned a spirit bird to report the news to the sect, and it would be best to let the sect master and the elders deal with it. Half a day later, the spirit bird came back, and there were only 4 words on it. Wait and see. What the hell? What do you mean by wait and see? Chu Xinghe has already recruited Mu Yu disciples. Is this still waiting and seeing? But Deacon Yang also realized that he still underestimated Chu Xinghe. If he were to do such an outrageous series of operations, the grass on his grave would be 1.5 meters tall by now, but Chu Xinghe had done it, so he could only wait and see. This shows that the sect master and the great elders are not moved by Chu Xinghe's outrageous behavior. This is no longer a question of whether to believe or not. Just spoil him. Although Deacon Yang doesn't understand, he can only wait and see with the sect master's wait and see. Deacon Yang even chose to lie down. Since I don't understand, I won't watch it. Let Chu Xinghe handle everything in Haotian city. Let's see if Chu Xinghe can blow up the entire Haotian city. Chapter 95. Thank you for the little baby sent by Xinghe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The storm caused by the fact that 300 Mu Yu warriors became the first batch of disciples to enter the Haotian sect's inner sect without taking the test was more violent than imagined. Many geniuses who came for the selection almost burst into tears when they heard the news. How could he of Muyue Kingdom be treated like this? Is it true that Chu Xinghe is unfathomable? Is this all about feelings? For a time, many extremely arrogant geniuses turned around and left Haotian city. In the first few years, I heard people say that the Haotian sect was in decline, and I thought it was just a rumor, but now it seems that it is indeed the case. The sect can be so childish about recruiting disciples. Isn't this a sign of decline? It seems that Haotian sect is just famous. Let's go to the other 10 major sects, lead the other sects upstream, and trample the Haotian sect under our feet. Outside Haotian city, people from all major sects are actually here. The recruitment of disciples by the Haotian sect is a huge event every year. It can be said that geniuses from all over the world will gather in Haotian city, and people from all major sects in the world will also come to Haotian city. However, due to their status, they cannot. It's better to go directly to the city and wait outside Haotian city, and these people are naturally the disciples that the Haotian sect does not want. After all, there are many people coming, but the Haotian sect only selects 3,000 people, and the rest are just delicious food. Even if the Haotian sect doesn't want it, it would still be at the level of a little treasure in other sections. In previous years, everyone waited until the selection of 3,000 disciples was over before they could find some unsuccessful disciples to enter their sect, but this year they are really good guys. On the first day he came to Haotian City, Chu Xinghe ranked among the top 3 in seconds and helped everyone to enjoy themselves. I heard that as soon as the Sanja people came out of Haotian City with curses, they were taken away by the people who missed them from Emperor Wu City. Emperor Wu City has really made a huge mistake. That was the top 3, but other sects were not qualified to compete with Emperor Wu City. But just as everyone was discussing this, Chu Xinghe's 300 Muyu geniuses once again caused a stir in Haotian City. This time, a large number of arrogant geniuses couldn't stand Chu Xinghe's style and left Haotian City to join other families. All the sects were beaming with joy. Thank you Haotian sect Lao Tai for sending me the peerless genius, thank you Xinghe for sending me this little baby. All the sects were singing and laughing. In previous years, we have all missed out, but this year, look at. There are still people ranked at the top who have been accepted by us. Dear Xinghe, please keep up your efforts. With your help, there is no need to worry about our sect not prospering. Each sect accepts disciples with numb scalp. Chu Xinghe was so happy when he heard the news that he almost jumped up on the spot. What about unexpected gains? I thought it would be exciting to recruit losers, but I never expected that this would cause damage to the reputation of the sect. This group of people went out and shouted one by one that the Haotian sect was going to decline and that they would never choose the Haotian sect in the future. This was too exciting. Today is a good day. Ba, ba, ba. You can't sing this bad song, it's not auspicious at all. As the saying goes, it's a new year and a new atmosphere, it's time to change to a new song. I congratulate you on getting rich. Congratulations on your wonderful performance, but this song is so festive. Ma Liang looked solemn, and he found a disciple from Muyu Kingdom. This matter would not cause any big trouble to senior brother Xinghe, right? If this is really the case, then I would be very sorry for senior brother Xinghe. Chu Xinghe had no idea what Ma Liang was thinking, otherwise he would definitely comfort him. Ma Liang, you think too much, how can senior brother blame you? In the next 2 days, Haotian City was in constant turmoil, and geniuses from all sides continued to leave. Listening to these good news every day, Chu Xinghe felt that he had turned a corner in the new year. How can there be everlasting prosperity? There is no such thing as a bad guy forever. On this day, Deacon Yang found Chu Xinghe. Xinghe, tomorrow is the time for the disciple assessment. What method do you plan to use this time? Assessment? Chu Xinghe was stunned and almost forgot about it. Yes, although these disciples have passed the first level of assessment and selection, they now have to go through the second level. As for the assessment method of this second level, what are your ideas? Deacon Yang, how were the elders evaluated in the past? The assessment methods for elders in the past have been different. Some will re-evaluate according to the first level selection, and some will use their own small methods to assess. So it is up to you, Xinghe, to decide how to conduct the assessment. After what Deacon Yang said, Chu Xinghe probably understood that this second level of assessment did not actually pay attention to formality. After all, the first round of assessment has confirmed that there is nothing wrong with the talent. The second level of assessment actually pays more attention to the personal preferences of the elders. This is why when they heard that he was the supervisor, the people in Haotian City frantically inquired about his preferences. Chu Xinghe was excited when he heard that there was no fixed form. Doesn't it mean that he could adjust it however he wanted? After taking a look at the snowflakes that started to fall again outside, Chu Xinghe suddenly had an idea. Early tomorrow morning, let all the disciples participating in the assessment gather at the martial arts field. Deacon Yang waited for a long time, but Chu Xinghe had nothing to say. Xinghe, then what? No more. No. No more, but what the hell is this, gathering at the martial arts field tomorrow morning? And then no more. Are you kidding me? What is this assessment? Are everyone standing during the assessment? Just gather and stand. Yes, Deacon Yang. Good guy. Deacon Yang is confused right now, since he was in charge of the assessment, he had never heard of such an outrageous assessment method in his life. The so-called assessment is to make everyone stand. What kind of assessment is this? What can be assessed? Whoever can't hold on or doesn't want to stand can leave. Chu Xinghe added. Deacon Yang was stunned. Forget it. I really can't take care of this election, I'll just lie down. Chu Xinghe said to stand, so stand soon. Deacon Yang sent out the news of the assessment, but as soon as the news came out, Haotian City was in chaos again. Gather at the martial arts field early tomorrow morning, and then stand for the assessment. What kind of bullshit assessment is this? Chu Xinghe is not kidding us. Why do I feel that this is getting more and more unreliable, or let's leave too. As geniuses, everyone has a temper. From Chu Xinghe to Haotian City, do you see that they are all human affairs? This is not an assessment, it is clearly a scam, whose assessment requires standing. Can't hold on and leave. This is insulting everyone. Sure enough, as soon as the news came out, a large number of people left Haotian City again. The sects outside Haotian City thanked Xinghe Laotai for sending the genius again. The snow did not stop all night, and in the morning it even had a tendency to get heavier. On the Haotian City martial arts field, all the disciples who came to Haotian City to participate in the second round of assessment gathered here. After the news came out yesterday, many people were actually discussing privately, is there any mystery in this assessment? But, what mystery can there be when standing here? Could there be other assessments later? But soon everyone was disappointed, because half a day had passed, everyone was standing on the martial arts field, and they were almost snowmen under the heavy snow, but Chu Xinghe didn't even show up. Good guy, how could a group of geniuses suffer such a great humiliation? A group of people jumped out on the spot to express that they would not do it. How could a genius like me bear such humiliation? If you don't want me here, I will find a place to stay. If you don't want me everywhere, I will open a small store. People left in batches. Ma Liang was also panicked as he watched batches of people leave cursing. Brother Xinghe, it's been a day, why don't you let them go back and rest? 10% of the people have left, right? Only 10%. Chu Xinghe almost cursed after hearing this. You geniuses are too impatient, you have been standing for a whole day, what do you mean by staying here? He ordered Ma Liang to let everyone continue to stand, and whoever leaves will be disqualified. Chu Xinghe slept well that night, and good news came as promised the next morning. Brother Xinghe, another 20% left this night, and now only 70% of the people are left. Keep standing. Chu Xinghe said while eating breakfast. Ma Liang had no choice but to watch more and more people leave Haotian City cursing. Even God seemed to be helping Chu Xinghe. It snowed for 3 days and 3 nights, and the geniuses outside also stood for 3 days and 3 nights. The number of disciples forced to leave was increasing, and it was close to 50%. This news has spread all over the world from Haotian City. All parties are discussing it crazily. Is Haotian sect crazy? Are they not going to have disciples? Although every assessment of Haotian sect is difficult, there has never been such an outrageous assessment. What is Chu Xinghe trying to do? Is he going to force everyone away before he stops? In Wuti City, Xinghe fell into deep thought after listening to the news that has been coming in recently. You are wrong. Senior Brother Xinghe is unfathomable. He does things without sticking to the formalities and is even more imaginative. He must have his deep meaning for doing this time. Xinghe's words were not recognized by many people. After all, Chu Xinghe had already forced half of the geniuses away. The various sects that were blocking Haotian City to recruit disciples are now shouting that Xinghe is mighty. Even all parties are now discussing that Chu Xinghe made such a big deal this time. Haotian sect is relying on its reputation as the world's #1 sect to insult the world's geniuses. Many people who used to dream of sending their children to Haotian sect are now shaken. A group of people have already transferred their children to other sections. This is no longer a question of disciple assessment. This time, Chu Xinghe's actions have already involved the reputation of Haotian sect. Even if you are the #1 sect in the world, you must not insult the world's geniuses like this. If you humiliate like this today, who will join your Haotian sect in the future? All parties are talking about Chu Xinghe's misbehavior, and Haotian sect will eventually shoot itself in the foot. Some people also bring up the glory of Chu Xinghe's Lingcheng, but that is only Lingcheng. Chu Xinghe inherited the medicine saint and has the ability to identify stones. but this is different for accepting disciples. Disciples are based on talent. Chu Xinghe has a series of operations, and all kinds of talented and courageous people have gone through. I just want to ask how your Haotian sect can turn the tables this time. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 96 Ma Liang, Senior Brother Xinghe, Great News. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How can the Haotian sect make a comeback? Chu Xinghe also wanted to ask how this sect could turn around. The geniuses all over the world stood in the wind and snow for 3 days and 3 nights. Countless geniuses got up and left because they couldn't bear the anger. So far, more than 50% of the geniuses have left, and many of them are even at the top this time. In this case, ask yourself how to lose. Ma Liang has been suffering from insomnia these days. Seeing more and more geniuses leaving, Ma Liang also feels that something is wrong, but at this moment, looking at Senior Brother Xinghe's confident look, Ma Liang suddenly realized something. Senior Brother Xinghe is not insulting them, Senior Brother Xinghe is really testing them, but this time the test is not their cultivation talent, but their character. Senior Brother Xinghe once said that he had hesitated on the road of cultivation, but he never took a step back. It was precisely this ambition that led to the birth of the Haotian sword box. Throughout the ages, the most indispensable thing in the world is genius. This year's genius appears once in a century, and next year's genius appears once in 1,000 years. Aren't you also known as a genius who appears once in 1,000 years? Speaking only of talent data, I had pressed Brother Xinghe to the ground and rubbed him. There was a time when I was not convinced by Senior Brother Xinghe, but everything that happened later showed that while talent is important, your character is sometimes the most important thing on your path to cultivation. How many talents are discovered every year? But what happened next? Some of these geniuses have fallen, but most of them have no future due to expansion. There are countless geniuses in the Haotian sect, but how many can really reach the top? At this moment, Ma Liang finally understood Senior Brother Xinghe's good intentions. Senior Brother Xinghe is indeed unfathomable. Everyone has misunderstood him. He is not insulting people, he is testing everyone. If you can't withstand some wind and snow today, how can you withstand the hardships on the road of cultivation? If you give up on the Haotian sect and leave today, if the Haotian sect is in trouble in the future, will you betray the sect? Senior Brother Xinghe is indeed tall. Thinking of this, Ma Liang got up and walked out of Beppu to the martial arts field. It can be clearly seen that half of the people in this martial arts arena have been reduced, and although the remaining people are still standing here, they all have extremely angry and humiliating expressions on their faces. I quit. Suddenly, someone shouted and walked out. I won't do it anymore. If Haotian sect doesn't want to accept us, just say so. Why bother making things so difficult? That's right, since Haotian sect likes people from Ouyang kingdom, then let's go after those losers from Ouyang kingdom. A group of people cursed and walked out, and after hearing this, Ma Liang couldn't sit still anymore. Presumptuous. Ma Liang roared and even used his spiritual power. You so-called geniuses, in my eyes, you are just flowers in the greenhouse. Do you know what cultivation is? And do you know how well-intentioned Senior Brother Xinghe is? You all have incredible talents and think you are great. Come on, you guys stand up and tell me. I, Ma Liang, ranked first in the top 3 leagues last year, had double 10 talents in the first round, and even topped the list in the second round. Who of you can surpass me? I'm here, stand up. Ma Liang's words made the scene quiet a lot. Think you have extraordinary talents. You have been held in the palm of your hand since childhood. Have you ever experienced hardship? Do you know what training is? Senior Brother Xinghe once said that the road to practice is as difficult as climbing to the sky. He once hesitated, but I have never retreated. But look at you, you retreated even after 3 days of wind and snow. Are you worthy of cultivating and worthy of being called a genius? Ma Liang was satisfied with the scolding. These little brats had no idea that Senior Brother Xinghe had good intentions. Senior Brother Xinghe could tolerate it, but he definitely couldn't bear it. You may have heard that Senior Brother Xinghe is famous for his benevolence and righteousness in Haotian sect, and his character is extremely noble. He will humiliate you. Are you worthy? Senior Brother Xinghe is using this storm to let you know the path of cultivation. The suffering is as unstoppable as the wind and snow falling on this day. Only those who can truly brave the wind and snow and push aside the clouds can see the blue sky and the white sun. Ma Liang shouted out his words, and his whole body felt relieved, and the scene became quiet because of Ma Liang's words, as if God was cooperating with Ma Liang. The wind and snow that lasted for 3 days stopped, the thick clouds in the sky were pushed aside by the sunshine, and the blue sky and daylight arrived. Ma Liang looked up at the sky, his eyes filled with joy, but just when Ma Liang finished cursing and was about to turn around and leave, a strong wave suddenly came from behind him. What the hell? Breakthrough? Wrong. This is not a spiritual power fluctuation resulting from a breakthrough, this is a mood fluctuation caused by enlightenment. Ma Liang turned around and saw a young man standing at the front looking up at the sky, exuding a sense of peace. After 3 days and 3 nights of wind and snow, all the anger that he thought he had been insulted disappeared at this moment. At this moment, he looked at the sky and finally understood Chu Xinghe's painstaking efforts in Ma Liang's words. He made a breakthrough, and it was a breakthrough in his state of mind. As the saying goes, it is easy to make progress in cultivation, but it is difficult to be in a state of mind. Compared with a breakthrough in cultivation, a breakthrough in mental state is as difficult as reaching the sky. Ma Liang never expected that his words would lead to a psychological breakthrough. But just when Ma Liang was lost in thought, another wave of mood swings came. Damn, someone has made a breakthrough again. Not just one. The breakthrough in his mood at this moment seemed to be contagious. Each of these geniuses who persisted looked at Xingtian's crazy breakthrough in his mood. 1, 2, more and more. There were countless people at the scene who entered the state of enlightenment. The first young man who broke through the state of mind knelt directly in front of Ma Liang. Thank you, Brother Ma Liang, for your guidance. Ma Liang was dumbfounded. You shouldn't thank me, you should thank Brother Xinghe. You finally understand Brother Xinghe's good intentions. I'm simply not a human being. I cursed Brother Xinghe in my heart for a whole day yesterday. Now I think that Brother Xinghe really put a lot of thought into us, but we didn't know it at all. You're wrong, this is where Brother Xinghe's methods are so clever. If you knew it in advance, how could you break through the state of mind? Ma Liang looked unfathomable. At this time, more and more people began to break through the state of mind. At this moment, Ma Liang couldn't count them. And every disciple who completed the breakthrough in the state of mind was all tearful. At the beginning of this outrageous assessment, all of them felt that they were insulted, but now they understand that this is not an insult to themselves, but Brother Xinghe's good intentions. Quick! Go and inform Senior Brother Xinghe that there is a result. Forget it. I'll go myself. Ma Liang didn't bother to tell others. At this time, so many people broke through the state of mind at the same time. Senior Brother Xinghe will be very happy to see it. I, Ma Liang, am really a lucky general. Ma Liang ran all the way into Beppu. At this moment, Chu Xinghe was humming congratulations on your wealth without provoking anyone. I heard that the geniuses are about to give up. After today, a large number of people will probably leave. Someone from the sect should come. What punishment will I receive? Will I be expelled from the sect? He. That would be great. Senior Brother Xinghe. Great news. Chu Xinghe. Ma Liang rushed in with excitement and described everything that happened outside in detail. Crack. The stool under Chu Xinghe's but broke into pieces because he was too strong. Chu Xinghe looked at Ma Liang in front of him with a confused face. He wanted to die at this moment. What the hell? Those people outside broke through. It's a breakthrough in the state of mind. Senior Brother Xinghe has good intentions. I have good intentions for your uncle. Ma Liang, you are really awesome. I must have dug up your family's graves in my previous life. You never let me down in terms of tricking me. Chu Xinghe was dragged to the martial arts field by Ma Liang with a confused look on his face. After seeing this, Chu Xinghe almost couldn't breathe and was sent away on the spot. At this moment, countless people in the martial arts field were sitting cross-legged on the ground. They all exuded a peaceful atmosphere. This is obviously entering a state of perception. This is the rhythm of a breakthrough in the state of mind. But it's okay for you to break through one or two. What do you mean by breaking through in batches? You were tortured by me for 3 days and 3 nights. You stood in the wind and snow for 3 days and 3 nights. What's the point of you being addicted to being tortured? We greet Senior Brother Xinghe. Senior Brother Xinghe has done a good job, and we will never forget it. A group of geniuses who have completed the breakthrough are bowing and saluting. They look at Chu Xinghe with respect. This is the legendary Senior Brother Xinghe. This is the Senior Brother Xinghe who deserves to be the first person of the young generation. We are all shallow. We actually thought that Senior Brother Xinghe wanted to insult us. What kind of existence is Senior Brother Xinghe? Do I deserve it? I insulted Senior Brother Xinghe before, but now I think that I am not a human being. And the group of geniuses who left, everyone realized at this moment that they are not worthy of being called geniuses. If you can't even endure this little hardship, how can you challenge the road of martial arts in the future? Sure enough, Senior Brother Xinghe used the simplest method, but implied the deepest meaning, and successfully screened out all the disciples who were not worthy of entering the sect. Deacon Yang also heard the news and rushed over. When he saw the disciples who broke through the state of mind in groups, Deacon Yang was dizzy. Compared to the breakthrough of cultivation, the breakthrough of the state of mind is too difficult. How many Tianjios are obsessed because their cultivation progress is fast, but their state of mind can't keep up? But today, Chu Xinghe's move actually made so many disciples break through their state of mind crazily. It's really a big wave washing away the sand. All that is left is the real gold. What a shit talent. Talent can only mean that you get started faster than others, but a high state of mind is really high. Deacon Yang thought of the 4 words wait and see sent back by his spirit bird before. At this moment, he finally understood that the sect master and the elders are worthy of being the strongest. Only they can see the essence of things. From the initial 3 class being killed in seconds to various unreliable behaviors later, Xinghe had good intentions. He was not doing anything wrong at all. He wanted to use this to make everyone mistakenly think that he was doing something wrong. Only by suppressing these children to the bottom can they really rebound. Today, Deacon Yang is completely convinced by Chu Xinghe, not because of Chu Xinghe's identity or status, but entirely because of Chu Xinghe's methods. Chapter 97, Breakthroughs in Batches. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the Battle of Lingcheng, Chu Xinghe claimed to have manipulated all the major forces in the world with his own strength. Chu Xinghe is not only the first in the younger generation, but also has methods that some old monsters are ashamed of. But hearing and seeing are 2 different things. Deacon Yang saw it with his own eyes today, after a series of operations that no one could understand. Deacon Yang even suspected that Chu Xinghe was going to harm the sect, but now Deacon Yang realized that he was too superficial. Chu Xinghe wanted to select the best and most outstanding disciples, and talent was not within Xinghe's consideration. After all, who is not a genius who can come here? There is a difference, but it is not too big, but the state of mind is different. Those with a high state of mind will definitely achieve much higher achievements in the future. Recruiting 3,000 disciples with the best talents and recruiting 3,000 disciples with excellent talents after the state of mind breaks through. Even a fool knows how to choose. Even if the 300 useless people from Liue country wasted 300 places, Deacon Yang felt it was worth it at this moment. It was so damn worth it. The Haotian sect was a big family with a big business. What's wrong with 300 useless people? Can't we afford them or what? But sacrificing 300 geniuses in exchange for 2,700 geniuses who have broken through their mind realm, Deacon Yang would never hesitate to do this deal 10,000 times, and looking at Chu Xinghe's indifferent look, Deacon Yang understood that this was Chu Xinghe, and he was confident. The news that the remaining disciples had broken through their mind realms quickly spread outside Haotian city. The people from various sects who were waiting for Xinghe Lao Tai to send geniuses vomited 2 tails of blood on the spot when they heard the news. Say it again. Breakthroughs in batches. No need to confirm. Look at the sky above Haotian city, there are auspicious clouds covering it. These are the auspicious clouds caused by countless people breaking through their mental states. How did Chu Xinghe do it? I understand, I finally understand, this is a game set by Chu Xinghe. You and I are both players in the game, but we are just pawns in Chu Xinghe's hands. Tell me what's going on, buddy. From the beginning, Chu Xinghe's expulsion of the top 3 was actually brewing, making the outside world think that he was doing whatever he wanted, and making those geniuses think that he, Chu Xinghe, was just a name for nothing. Recruiting 300 useless people from Ouyang kingdom after that pushed this emotion to the extreme. Look at those geniuses. They all think Chu Xinghe is a fool and is not worthy of being the first person of the young generation. In the subsequent assessment, under the blessing of the previous 2 events, everyone thought that Chu Xinghe was deliberately insulting them, so more and more people left. However, after the great waves, all those who stayed were those with a solid mind. In the end, they understood Chu Xinghe's painstaking efforts, and it was natural for their mind to break through. After this old friend finished speaking, everyone shook their heads and smiled bitterly. The game. This is a game. We have all become pawns in Chu Xinghe's hands. A few days ago, we were still laughing at Chu Xinghe for being a fool and the geniuses sent by Chu Xinghe, but now, it seems that these geniuses are all weak-willed. Can such people make it to the end on the road of cultivation in the future? What is even more terrifying is that Chu Xinghe has played with people's hearts to the extreme. His 3 tricks have directly made countless geniuses break through. These geniuses who have broken through not only have improved their mental state, but also have a promising future. More importantly, after this incident, they are absolutely loyal to Haotian sect. What is the most feared thing when accepting disciples? It must be disloyal and unrighteous people, and in recent years, the demon sect has infiltrated many disciples into various sections. Everyone is worried about how to select them. Today, Chu Xinghe's move did not require any selection. It is impossible for the disciples of the demon sect to break through the mental state and be determined, so Chu Xinghe's move is too clever. The various sects shook their heads and smiled bitterly, and those who left were even more miserable. When the news of Haotian city came out, those geniuses who had left before cursing were dumbfounded. Many people who stayed behind broke through the mental state. We are narrow-minded. We don't understand Chu Xinghe's painstaking efforts at all, but what's the point of saying this now? If you think about it, it's because I'm not strong enough in my will. If I had been a little more determined, I would have broken through my mind, and I would have stepped into the Haotian sect in the future, and my future would have been bright and clear. But now everything is gone. Many people burst into tears on the spot. We thought that the Haotian sect was not worthy of us staying. But now we know that we are not worthy of staying in the Haotian sect at all. The world's #1 sect is indeed the world's #1 sect, and every sip and bite is unfathomable, especially Chu Xinghe. Those who shouted that they must surpass Chu Xinghe before suddenly realized at this moment that the gap between them and Chu Xinghe is simply the difference between heaven and earth. How to surpass him? I am a small person with a weak will, but Chu Xinghe is a great man who can control the minds of geniuses in the world. Haotian sect. The news of Haotian city has been constantly transmitted to the sect these days, but with the experience of lynching last time, both the sect master and the elders are as stable as Mount Tai. What? Xinghe defeated the top 3 in seconds. Just kill them in seconds. Haotian sect doesn't need these 3 guys. What? Xinghe took in 300 useless people from Ouyang country. Don't panic, our Haotian sect is big and powerful, we still need 300 of them. Go and see the Ouyang family. We dare to keep the Ouyang family, so why are we afraid of 300 people from Ouyang country? What? Xinghe used the standing technique to force more than half of them away. Hold on. Xinghe is so imaginative in his actions. Stay on, and wait and see. Just when the great elder was a little panicked, the spirit bird flew over from Haotian city. When the leader saw the message from the spirit bird, he summoned the heads of each palace. The spirit bird flew out, and all the heads saw the news above. Even though they had long expected Chu Xinghe, they were all stunned. Using the top 3 as pawns, and then the 300 useless people of Muyue Kingdom intensified the conflict, and finally used a seemingly insulting method to exclude all those with weak wills. Xinghe, this kid. I am ashamed of this move. Good. This kid's character is so high that it is incredible. We should be glad that Xinghe is a disciple of my Haotian sect. If he is a member of the demon sect, then no matter what the cost, he must be eradicated. Many elders nodded. Indeed, with such a terrible character, if he is really a disciple of the demon sect, wouldn't it be a huge disaster in the future? The elder still said nothing and maintained his demeanor. The sect master's face was as bright as a chrysanthemum. He had not thought much about sending Xinghe to supervise the election this time, but he never expected that this child would give Haotian sect such a big surprise. What is the most important thing for a sect? It must be inheritance. Xinghe naturally realized this. In this game of chess in Haotian City, Xinghe used the world's genius as chess pieces. The layout was exquisite and the effect was explosive. It was simply perfect. In Wudi City, Xinghe also received the news. After seeing everything, Xinghe looked coldly at those who had laughed at senior brother Xinghe before. How brightly they laughed at the beginning, how ugly their faces were now. I have said it long ago that senior brother Xinghe's methods are so brilliant that ordinary people can't understand them. In this game, when senior brother Xinghe dropped the first piece, he was already the only winner of the entire chess game. Xinghe shook his head and sighed. He kept catching up with senior brother Xinghe, but why was he getting farther and farther away from senior brother Xinghe? However, Xinghe did not give up. He believed that as long as he kept moving forward, he would see senior brother Xinghe's back one day. Haotian City really exploded this time. It is said that the book 2 or 3 Things About My Mother and Chu Xinghe was sold out. No matter whether the records in it are true or not, as long as it is related to Chu Xinghe, it is definitely a point of concern for everyone. The results of this assessment statistics are out. In this assessment, as many as 2,581 people completed the breakthrough of the state of mind, which not only shocked the world, but also created a new record of the number of people who broke through the state of mind in one day, which was 2,500 higher than the previous record. This is a number that is impossible to surpass. No. Some people say that to surpass this number, perhaps only Chu Xinghe can make another move. In any case, Haotian sect made a profit this time. These 2,581 people were naturally all left behind, and Ma Liang personally registered them one by one. Then Ma Liang personally selected a group of people who were determined and had signs of breaking through the state of mind, plus 300 disciples from Muyue country, and this group of 3,000 disciples was complete, the strongest 3,000 disciples in history. This is the name that some people privately gave to this group of disciples. But Ma Liang disagreed. The strongest in history? Do you think about this? It was last year. Among the 3,000 disciples last year, there were senior brother Xinghe and me. Aren't senior brother Xinghe and I stronger than the 3,000 disciples? So the strongest disciples in history must be senior brother Xinghe and myself. Moreover, Ma Liang found that senior brother Xinghe trusted him more and more now. He didn't need to report too much to senior brother Xinghe on the whole matter of recruiting disciples. Senior brother Xinghe just said one sentence, "You can do it." Sure enough. I have become the most popular person in senior brother Xinghe's eyes. When senior brother Xinghe becomes the master of Haotian sect in the future, I may become the new generation of great elders. The future elder Ma was excited. Chu Xinghe sat in the courtyard of Beppu, with the words "no hope in life" written on his face. How dare Ma Liang, that idiot, appear in front of him? Hold on. I have to hold on. Rakage, don't shake, he is my junior brother after all. I can't bear to kill him. Besides, although my plan to recruit ordinary disciples collapsed, the 300 geniuses of Muyue Kingdom are still there. Hold on. This time I haven't lost yet. With the 300 geniuses of Muyue Kingdom in hand, I still have hope of turning the tables. These are 300 super losers. Ma Liang is helpless. Just ask who can kill me in this round. Thinking of the 300 geniuses of Muyue Kingdom, Chu Xinghe breathed a sigh of relief and ran to take a look at Mu Bai and the others. Fortunately, they are fine, and they all look like they have made no progress. Seeing this, Chu Xinghe is relieved. Before, the Ouyang family consumed millions of spirit stones every year, and now the 300 geniuses of Muyue Kingdom have done nothing. Although this time is against the wind, I still have a sure win. Chapter 98 Two Big Bombs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chu Xinghe felt that he was very good at fighting headwind situations, because ever since I had a game, it seemed like it was a headwind game. Ma Liang is an ungrateful thief, and Haotian City's genius has no bottom line. Apart from cheating yourselves, you don't do anything serious every day, right? God bless Haotian, God bless Haotian. Good guy. Right now outside Beifu, Ma Liang is leading a group of people shouting God bless Haotian, God bless you uncle. Chu Xinghe held his head and shut himself up for a long time. Finally, the voice of God bless Haotian disappeared outside. Senior Brother Xinghe, Deacon Yang has just received instructions from the sect to hold a banquet in Haotian City to celebrate the recruitment of new disciples. Ma Liang didn't open any pot and even held a banquet. Do you see how I feel like going to a banquet now? However, for the sake of so many new disciples, Chu Xinghe followed Ma Liang to Haotian Tower, the largest in Haotian City. 3,000 disciples gathered in Haotian Tower, and the moment Chu Xinghe stepped into Haotian Tower, the entire Haotian Tower was completely boiling. I'll pay my respects to Senior Brother Xinghe. That the fact that 3,000 people spoke together still gave Chu Xinghe a little shock. Every disciple who was selected this time looked at Senior Brother Xinghe in front of them with reverence. In the past year, they had heard the name of Chu Xinghe countless times, the number one among the younger generation and the number one young person in the field of medicine refining. As long as anyone has anything to do with Chu Xinghe, they are basically out of first place, but who among young people is not a little arrogant? To put it bluntly, half of the 3,000 disciples present had thought that if I entered the Haotian sect, I would surpass that thief Chu Xinghe and become the new number one in the world. It's not that I'm incapable, it's just that I don't have Chu Xinghe's resources. As long as I have half of Chu Xinghe's resources, the Xinghe dog thief is nothing. In this second-level selection, many people panicked when they heard that Chu Xinghe was the supervisor, and the subsequent series of mysterious operations by Brother Xinghe made most of them feel resentful. But how much I hate him, how much I admire Senior Brother Xinghe now. What is moisturizing things silently? Senior Brother Xinghe showed this skill to everyone in Haotian City. You think that Senior Brother Xinghe is acting recklessly, that Senior Brother Xinghe is on the first level, but every move of Senior Brother Xinghe is in the atmosphere. The breakthrough in the state of mind has also made countless people feel suddenly enlightened. Many things that they did not understand before are now understood instantly. Many people even rushed to take the first assessment today, and the results surprised everyone. Almost every disciple who has achieved a breakthrough in his state of mind has seen his scores improve a lot during the re-examination. Those who were previously evaluated as reluctant geniuses by the Haotian sect are now real geniuses. With this improvement in their mood, everyone's talents have also improved. After this incident, everyone finally knew that Chu Xinghe was unfathomable and was by no means empty talk. If you have never met Senior Brother Xinghe, you simply cannot understand the terror of Senior Brother Xinghe. Throughout the afternoon, the 3,000 disciples also listened to the previous senior brothers and sisters describe what Senior Brother Xinghe had done in Haotian sect in the past year. The 3,000 disciples were really shocked after hearing this. Senior Brother Xinghe is not only invincible in cultivation and unparalleled in mind, but his character is also flawless. The purest and most beautiful jade in the world is not as good as Senior Brother Xinghe. Everyone looked at Senior Brother Xinghe with bright eyes. Being able to become brothers with Senior Brother Xinghe was simply what everyone dreamed of. Senior Brother Xinghe, please say a few words. Ma Liang looked excited. Chu Xinghe was speechless. What else could he say? Ma Liang, if you knew how I was feeling now, you wouldn't dare to talk to me. No, everyone has been tired for so many days. Today's banquet is over. Let's all go back and have a good rest. After that, we will set off for the sect. We will be brothers in the future, and we will have many opportunities to chat. Chu Xinghe's extremely brief words once again triggered applause from the audience. 3,000 disciples worshipped him. Listen. This is the realm of Senior Brother Xinghe. If it were him in his place and he did such a big thing, why not prepare a 3,000-page manuscript in advance and read it here until the Haotian tower collapsed? But Senior Brother Xinghe doesn't have that at all. Look at Senior Brother Xinghe's calm and composed expression, the way he doesn't take any credit or pride. He is simply a role model for our generation. Have you ever thought about surpassing Senior Brother Xinghe before? Now that I think about it, I am simply talking nonsense. Being able to follow in the footsteps of Senior Brother Xinghe is already a great blessing for me. The banquet began. The 3,000 disciples experienced this test from the bottom to the top, and each one was extremely excited. During this period, countless disciples came to toast Chu Xinghe, but they were all blocked by Ma Liang. 3,000 of you take turns toasting to Senior Brother Xinghe. What do you want to do? I have to say that Ma Liang is still capable of doing some human affairs. Finally, under Ma Liang's persuasion, Chu Xinghe took the initiative to raise his glass and have a drink with the 3,000 disciples. Ma Liang's face turned red as he drank, and he shouted that I, Ma Liang, am the most blessed general of Senior Brother Xinghe. Ma Liang is here. No surprise, that these words made Chu Xinghe's heart twitch. Don't worry, Ma Liang, it will be difficult for you to be around in the future. Just when Chu Xinghe was drinking the bitter wine alone, he found that among the 3,000 disciples, everyone else was drinking happily, and only the people from Ouyang kingdom were sitting together. They didn't go around toasting and drinking with their future brothers like others, and all of them were depressed. Seeing this, Chu Xinghe finally felt better. The 300 geniuses of Ouyang country were his last resort. Now his own resort was unhappy. How could this be? Chu Xinghe took the initiative to stand up and come to the 300 of Ouyang country. Mu Bai saw Chu Xinghe coming and hurriedly stood up. Mu Bai greets Brother Xinghe. As the prince of Ouyang country, Mu Bai has the nobleness of a prince, but not the arrogance of a prince. In fact, this is normal. With the mess in Ouyang country, it would be a miracle if a prince could be arrogant. Mu Bai, why do you look unhappy? As Chu Xinghe said this, Mu Bai's eyes dimmed a little more. This time, the recruitment of disciples by Haotian sect caused a sensation in the world, and the saying that Chu Xinghe's three-step chess game determined the outcome was spread everywhere. But everyone praised Brother Xinghe and the large number of disciples who broke through the state of mind recruited by Brother Xinghe. When it comes to Ouyang country, everyone said the same thing. Ouyang country has caught up with the good time. Chu Xinghe is using Haotian city as a chessboard, and Ouyang country is just Chu Xinghe's second chess piece, although Mu Bai knows that Ouyang country's reputation has been ruined. But who is willing to be a chess piece? When Ma Liang recommended him to come before, Mu Bai thought that Senior Brother Xinghe had some way to change the fate of Ouyang country, so he accepted the people of Ouyang country so readily. Now it seems Senior Brother Xinghe just used them as chess pieces, but Mu Bai couldn't blame Senior Brother Xinghe, because one Ouyang country's 300 wastes were exchanged for 2007 peerless geniuses. Even if he was allowed to play this game, he would still make the same move, but every time he thought that the people of his Ouyang country were just chess pieces, Mu Bai's heart ached. Thinking that Ouyang country could change its fate in Haotian sect was ultimately just deceiving himself. Mu Bai, do you think that Senior Brother treats you as pawns? Mu Bai dare not. Mu Bai, the outside world says that I, Chu Xinghe, have made 3 moves. The first pawn is the top 3, the second pawn is your Ouyang country, and the third pawn is the final assessment. But Senior Brother is here to tell you that in Senior Brother's heart, the 300 people from your Ouyang country are the biggest gain of this trip to Haotian city. Chu Xinghe's eyes were extremely firm. Mu Bai looked at Senior Brother Xinghe's firm eyes and began to feel confused for a moment, because Mu Bai felt that Senior Brother Xinghe's status seemed to have no reason to deceive a little loser like him. Mu Bai, right? Mu Bai, this time when entering Haotian sect, other disciples will be selected by the elders of each palace, but only your Ouyang country, I have planned for you in advance. You will enter Ling Palace and become disciples of Ling Palace, and all the resources you get will also exceed those of ordinary Haotian sect disciples. When Chu Xinghe said this, Mu Bai was completely dumbfounded. Ling Palace. In addition to the Haotian Palace where the leader of the Haotian sect is located, there are also 18 palaces in the Haotian sect. Among the 18 palaces, the Lingyi Palace is where the Great Elder is located, and it is also where Senior Brother Xinghe is located. Mu Bai never dreamed that Senior Brother Xinghe would actually bring them all into the Lingyi Palace. Looking at Senior Brother Xinghe's eyes, Mu Bai can be sure that Senior Brother Xinghe will not lie to them, and he simply disdains to lie to them. What qualifications do these 300 useless people from Muyue country have to be deceived by Senior Brother Xinghe? And Senior Brother Xinghe wants to give them higher resources and better training? Could it be? Mu Bai seemed to have thought of something for a moment, but Mu Bai did not dare to ask, because he was afraid of being disappointed. At this moment, even if there is only 1 in 10,000 hope, Mu Bai is still willing to keep this spark of hope in his heart. Be happy, Senior Brother promises you that Muyue country is not a chess piece of mine, but an extremely important piece of the puzzle of my future planning. After Chu Xinghe said this, Mu Bai's eyes were filled with tears. For many years, Muyue country has not been needed and valued like this, and now it is Senior Brother Xinghe who values them so much. That is Chu Xinghe. Senior Brother Xinghe is so kind and righteous. Mu Bai swears here that my disciples of Muyue country will do their best to live up to Senior Brother Xinghe's high expectations. Picking up the wine glass, Chu Xinghe and Mu Bai toasted to each other. Seeing Mu Bai's excitement, Chu Xinghe was relieved. It's right to be happy. Your Muyue country is an important puzzle on the road to my Chu Xinghe's heavy damage to the sect, so how can you be decadent? How can a decadent person consume the resources of the sect? You should learn the style of the Ouyang family who work hard, persevere, and persist in causing trouble to the sect. In the past, the Ouyang family consumed millions of spirit stones of the sect every year, and in the future, your Muyue country consumed the cultivation resources of the sect crazily. With your 2 big bombs in hand, I just want to ask how I can lose this time. Chapter 99, Seizing Disciples. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The quota of 3,000 disciples in Haotian city has been determined. Countless people who did not understand Chu Xinghe's painstaking efforts and did not get the qualification of 3,000 disciples shed tears in Haotian city. Many people stayed in Haotian city these 2 days. I was wrong this year, but I am still young. I will still be within the scope of Haotian sect's assessment next year. I will not leave. I will stay in Haotian city and continue to fight next year. What Xingyue sect? I rejected the recruitment of Xingyue sect. Although my father told me to go home and take a shower, although my dream was to join Xingyue sect, since I saw the style of Senior Brother Xinghe in Ouyang, I will only join Haotian sect in this life. I did not understand Senior Brother Xinghe's painstaking efforts this time. It was really my own weak will. I must join Haotian sect next year. Haotian city has many more people with extraordinary hardships, but this is not without benefits. After all, because Senior Brother Xinghe likes people with noble character. I don't know whether the character of Haotian city will be noble in the next year, but the hygiene in the city will definitely be noble. Chu Xinghe led 3,000 disciples out of Haotian city and headed for Haotian sect. Countless young people who failed to become disciples of Haotian sect looked eager. How they wished they could be one of them. Those who were recruiting disciples from various sects and had not yet left looked at the group of people led by Chu Xinghe, and they were all sad. Before, everyone thanked Xinghe Laotai for the peerless geniuses he sent, but now compared with the group of people selected by Chu Xinghe, why did those peerless geniuses suddenly become less attractive? Shocked. Chu Xinghe acted recklessly. Haotian sect was betrayed by his friends and relatives, and the geniuses abandoned the dark and joined the light. A few days ago, the shock department of each sect racked their brains to write the articles criticizing the title, but now the title has changed directly, Shocked. Chu Xinghe's 3-step chess game, Haotian sect created glory again, and the geniuses broke through their minds. This is the title that has been circulated all over the world recently. The people in the shock department of each sect are all shocked, but it's useless to be shocked. The world has been decided. The annual selection of disciples of Haotian sect also came to a successful conclusion. Haotian city held a private discussion and voting. Chu Xinghe ranked second in the ranking of the past years. What? Who do you think ranked first? That's right, it's the Great Elder. The Great Elder topped the list with an overwhelming number of votes. There was no way everyone knew that Chu Xinghe was discovered by the Great Elder. The great elder was more like a father to Chu Xinghe than a biological father. It was clearly recorded in the book 2 or 3 things about my mother and Chu Xinghe that the person Chu Xinghe respected most was the great elder. When the news was passed back to Haotian sect, the great elder looked calm and unmoved, but it was a bit strange that the great elder had 4 bowls of braised pork at noon. Chu Xinghe led 3,000 disciples all the way back to Haotian sect from Haotian city. When he stepped into the mountain gate, the sect leader Gu Mingqiao and countless elders were already welcoming him at the mountain gate. The 3,000 disciples sighed again when they saw this scene. As expected of senior brother Xinghe, in previous years, the disciples would go to Haotian Palace to pay respects to the elders, and then start the 3rd round of disciple selection in Haotian Palace. Finally, it was determined which palace everyone would enter. The sect master brought the elders to the mountain gate to welcome them. This was the first time in the history of Haotian sect. Ha 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 ha. Xinghe, you have worked hard on this trip to Haotian city. Sect master Gu Mingqiao patted Chu Xinghe's shoulder with a smile on his face. Xinghe dare not say that it is hard to work for the sect. This child. The sect master was delighted. Everyone followed the sect master's steps to Haotian sect, and countless brothers and sisters who came from various palaces waved and greeted Chu Xinghe who had returned. The 3,000 disciples looked at each other and sighed again. The rumors were true. Senior brother Xinghe was unparalleled in popularity in Haotian sect, and it was true. 3,000 disciples gathered in Haotian Palace. Sect master Gu Mingqiao first praised Chu Xinghe's achievements this time, and the subsequent actions made the 3,000 disciples even more confused, because the sect master had no intention of rewarding senior brother Xinghe. This is really terrifying. If ordinary disciples did such a thing, wouldn't they be rewarded in various ways? But for senior brother Xinghe, neither the sect master nor the elders had any intention of rewarding him. This means that in the eyes of the elders of the sect, senior brother Xinghe has reached the point where he doesn't need any reward at all. Who can be treated like this? None of the 3,000 disciples are fools, and everyone's mind is as clear as a mirror. Then the great elder came on stage. Compared with the kindness of the sect master, the majesty of the great elder also made the 3,000 disciples feel the horror of the Haotian sect for the first time. With a glance, each of the 3,000 disciples felt as if their heart was pierced by a sharp sword. The invisible pressure emanating from the great elder made it almost impossible for them to stand firm. The great elder spoke calmly about the various sect rules for entering the Haotian sect. Every word hit the hearts of the 3,000 disciples like a heavy hammer, and was also imprinted in the hearts of each of them like a brand. The Haotian sect's rules are strict, and you must not dare to violate them easily. Although Chu Xinghe was listening for the second time, he was still very attentive. Chu Xinghe kept every possible rule in mind and silently vowed that the new year was a new beginning, and this sect rule was also a new challenge for him. After the great elder finished, each palace began to select disciples. Sure enough, everything was just as Chu Xinghe guessed, and none of the 300 Muyue geniuses asked anyone. Look at Elder Yu, the head of Qingmu Palace, hiding far away, as if he was afraid that the last 300 Muyue disciples would be forced to be thrown to Qingmu Palace, which sounded more suitable. If no one wanted them, Elder Yu had thought it through before he came. If the sect master and the elder really said that they would give him the 300 Muyue geniuses, he would pretend to be possessed on the spot. Elder, the 300 Muyue disciples should stay in our Lingi Palace. Okay, you decide, good guy. Chu Xinghe had just thought of the reason for how to explain to the elder, but now, it seems that this reason is completely unnecessary. When he found senior brother Shen Chun, when he heard that Chu Xinghe wanted to keep the 300 Muyue disciples, Shen Chun also nodded. Xinghe junior brother, don't worry, senior brother has arranged everything for you clearly. What the hell? Don't you ask a question. This is the people of Muyue. A professional scammer, the sects he has scammed can circle the Liang continent 3 times. When the people from Lingi Palace took away the disciples of Muyue, the elders of each palace breathed a sigh of relief, but at the same time they also sighed at the kindness of Xinghe. Look. Although everyone knows that the disciples of Muyue are the pawns of Xinghe, they could have found a reason to find someone to take the blame and send them all to the outer sect, but Xinghe is a man of high character. He is not the kind of person who abandons his lover after having sex with him. Even if they are from Muyue, he still accepts them into Lingyi Palace. Fortunately, Lingyi Palace is rich and powerful, so they don't care about this. However, Xinghe can give Muyue an explanation from beginning to end. This alone makes people satisfied, with such a character, who would not be willing to work hard for him in the future. Even if it is to be a pawn, to be the pawn of Xinghe, I am afraid that countless people are willing to do so. When Mu Bai stood in the crowd and watched the elders of each palace avoiding them when selecting disciples, he was actually a little panicked. Although senior brother Xinghe had promised before, Mu Bai was still not sure until the last moment, especially with the terrifying look of the great elder just now. Could senior brother Xinghe keep them in Lingyi Palace? Then Mu Bai saw senior brother Xinghe walk up to the great elder and say something, and the great elder nodded directly, and then senior brother Shen Chun came, telling them that all 300 Muyue disciples would enter Lingyi Palace. At this moment, Mu Bai burst into tears, and all the Muyue disciples also burst into tears. Senior brother Xinghe really kept his promise. He said he would let us enter Lingyi Palace, so he let us enter Lingyi Palace. The great elder was so terrifying, but after senior brother Xinghe spoke, he didn't say a word of nonsense. It seems that we followed the right person. In previous years, the selection of disciples would last a whole day. After all, there were always some disciples that the various palaces did not necessarily like, and in the end, the great elder usually forced them to the various palaces. But this year, it only took half a morning, because the various palaces were fighting for people. Elder you, the master of Qingmu Palace, practice wood-related skills. What do you mean by snatching my disciples who are suitable for practicing thunder-related skills? Humph. Elder He, do you think it's ridiculous to say this? They are all disciples who have broken through their mental state. How terrifying is their comprehension ability? How can they be restricted by the type of skills? Elder Zhao, isn't your Changchun Palace known for its tight resources? Last year, the sect master gave you one more person, and you were in a bad mood for 3 months. Now you have so many people, aren't you afraid that your Changchun Palace will be full to death? He. Elder Chu, my Changchun Palace is very rich this year, but your Diling Palace, I remember that you were the poorest in the 18 palaces last year. Except for Lingyi Palace, everyone in the 18 palaces is competing for disciples. There is no way. The disciples selected by Xinghe are really too damn good. If you miss this group of disciples, you will regret it for the rest of your life. Each of them is determined, and their mental state is a whole realm higher than that of ordinary disciples. This time they go back to practice, won't they take off directly? In previous years, the sect leader had to force disciples on some palaces that had fewer students. This year, the sect leader has a bigger headache. He has to help palaces that have fewer students. Gu Mingchao sighed, the job of the sect leader is so damn hard. No matter what, it's always offending people. Xinghe, grow up quickly, and then I'll leave this matter to you, and I'll be the supreme elder and watch you perform. After fierce arguments and struggles, the disciples were finally assigned to the 18 palaces. The very tired sect leader Gu Mingchao announced the disbandment immediately. The recruitment of disciples for Haotian sect this year is almost over. Chu Xinghe followed the elder back to Lingyi Palace. Regarding the handling of the 300 geniuses of Muyue country, the elder asked Chu Xinghe to take care of it, and he didn't need to report everything to him, and he had to take the initiative to shoulder the burden. Chu Xinghe was in tears. Elder, you understand me. Just wait and see. With these 300 geniuses from the Muyu kingdom in my hands, I will definitely give you a huge surprise, so you should take this time to figure out how to punish me. Chapter 100 Ouyang Ling's Adventure. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The arrangement of the 300 geniuses of Muyue country was all handed over to Chu Xinghe. There was no need for the elder's order, because now in Lingyi Palace and even in the entire Haotian sect, if Chu Xinghe said it was the intention of the great elder or the sect master, even the chief elders of each palace would not have the slightest doubt. Xinghe would never do anything to destroy the sect. So how could he fake the order? But even knowing this, Shen Chun was still stunned when he heard the arrangement of junior brother Xinghe. Junior brother Xinghe, are you sure to give them the resource quota of all core disciples for the 300 people? That I'm too sure. If I didn't think it was really unreasonable, I would have planned to give them the treatment of personal disciples. Seeing junior brother Xinghe nod solemnly, Shen Chun sighed, junior brother Xinghe is really kind and righteous. Even if he knew that the 300 people of Muyue country were useless, he was still willing to give them the highest resources to give them a chance, but Shen Chun felt that junior brother Xinghe might be disappointed this time. After all, everyone knows the situation of Muyue country. Shen Chun went to arrange this matter. Mu Bai and his friends also got a place to stay in Lingyi Palace. When senior brother Shen Chun told them that they would all be allocated core disciple resources, Mu Bai burst into tears again and promised that Muyue Kingdom would never let senior brother Xinghe down. After dealing with Muyue Kingdom's affairs, Chu Xinghe came to the refining palace. Congratulations on your wealth. Congratulations on your brilliance. Humming a happy little song, Chu Xinghe felt very happy. Every time I came to the refining palace, I felt that the new year was coming when I heard the sound of furnace explosions coming from afar. Boom! Listen! How perfect! Looking at Ouyang Ming running out of the refining palace with a dusty face, Chu Xinghe couldn't help but give junior brother Ouyang a thumbs up. Junior brother Ouyang is domineering. It's okay for others to explode the furnace when refining medicine, but look at our junior brother Ouyang, who can even explode the furnace when forging spiritual weapons. That guy pulled in carts of top-grade spirit stones, heard the sound of furnace explosions, and pulled out carts of slag. This is only my Haotian sect. If it were any other inferior sect, they would have already divided the luggage. Senior brother Xinghe. I failed again. Junior brother Ouyang. As the saying goes, failure is the mother of success. What's so scary about failure? Senior brother Xinghe, dream of failure. How can there be success without failure? Chu Xinghe was depressed. You are telling me that you failed? I really want to fail. Do you know that your talent of being plagued by failure is what I dream of? Senior brother Xinghe. Ouyang Ming's eyes gradually became firm. It has to be senior brother Xinghe. Every time I fail, I doubt whether I can succeed. Since I came to Haotian sect, I seem to be unable to do anything except consuming the resources of the sect. Ouyang Ming even wanted to give up at one point, but every time I wanted to give up, senior brother Xinghe would appear on time and persuade me to move forward bravely. It was with the encouragement of senior brother Xinghe that I was able to hold on until today. Where is junior sister Ouyang? I heard that junior sister's Sacred Heart has had problems these 2 days, and the probability of a spirit being attached has decreased again. Chu Xinghe's heart began to automatically play congratulations on getting rich. Alas! Sister is the same. She insisted on researching some new path, and ended up disappointing senior brother Xinghe. These few days of the new year are also the days for my Ouyang family to worship their ancestors. I should have gone, but I really don't have the face to see my ancestors, so I asked Ling to take me to the ancestral home to worship my ancestors. It turned out that she went home to worship her ancestors. I thought she was kidnapped by junior sister Wanlin. Junior brother Ouyang, don't doubt yourself, stick to your path, believe me, you will see the light. Thank you, senior brother Xinghe. Ouyang Ming will live up to your kindness. Leaving the refining palace happily, Chu Xinghe did not forget to tell him before leaving that the spiritual stones given to Ouyang Ming must not be cut off. If it really doesn't work, replace the top grade with the best grade ones, so as to avoid a disaster. Although Ouyang Ming's furnaces have exploded recently, they can almost circle the refining palace 3 times, but we must not buy inferior refining furnaces for Ouyang Ming just because Ouyang Ming's furnaces explode quickly. Not only don't want inferior ones, but also the best ones. Does our Haotian sect lack that money? Listen, we have to listen to the sound of the best refining furnaces exploding. The Ouyang family is so reassuring. Zhaoyang City, this is the beginning of the Ouyang family's former glory, and it is also the end of the Ouyang family's decline. From the moment Ouyang Ling was born, the family has begun to lose its former glory. Grandpa alone supported everything in the family, and father. Forget it, I don't have a father. The Ouyang family fell into decline overnight and became a laughing stock. My brother and I went to various places, but in the end we had nothing. We could only sell the ancestral home of the Ouyang family to others in exchange for resources to survive. Ouyang Ling once thought that the Ouyang family would be buried in the dust of history forever, but just when the Ouyang family was most desperate and helpless, senior brother Xinghe appeared. From the first moment she saw senior brother Xinghe, Ouyang Ling knew that senior brother Xinghe was the man she wanted to protect for the rest of her life. Although her brother always said that he was not worthy of senior brother Xinghe, Ouyang Ling didn't care at all. What's wrong with not being worthy? If it's not possible to do it openly, can't we drug him? Really, there are thousands of ways, and I chose to drug him, so what? Revisiting the old place, Ouyang Ling didn't have too many feelings, because she was no longer the Ouyang Ling of the past. Now she is a disciple of Haotian sect, and she has the world's #1 sect behind her. Senior sister, I just asked. The Lu family who bought our Ouyang family's ancestral home before refused to sell it to us at the agreed original price. They said they wanted to double the price. The junior brother of the Ouyang family who came back with Ouyang Ling looked angry. When the Ouyang family sold their ancestral home, they had made an agreement that if the Ouyang family turned over in the future, the Lu family would return the ancestral home at the original price. Humph. You refuse to abide by the agreement? Double it? Because I don't bother to argue with the Lu family for this little money. If it is doubled, double it. Give it to them and take it back to the ancestral home immediately. Ouyang Ling now stands out as a wealthy person. Now the Ouyang family has nothing but money. The furnace that my unlucky brother blew up in one day could kill more than 100 members of your Lu family 100 times. Ouyang Ling felt that it was beneath her status to bargain with such a person. Soon, the Ouyang family got their ancestral home back at double the price. The Lu family still had some bottom line. At least the ancestral hall at the back of their Ouyang family's ancestral home and the Ouyang family's ancestral grave behind the ancestral hall were not touched. Ouyang Ling took the disciples of the Ouyang family to clean the ancestral hall inside and out, and hired countless servants. Although the Ouyang family would not live here, someone had to clean it every day. From then on, the Ouyang family would come back every year to worship. Ancestors, let ancestors see that the Ouyang family will rise after all. After paying homage to her ancestors, Ouyang Ling took the Ouyang family disciples to the ancestral grave. The ancestral tomb has been in disrepair for a long time and has become dilapidated. All the Ouyang family members joined together and started cleaning and repairing again. Senior sister, the tomb of the 8th generation ancestor collapsed and even the coffin leaked out. Let's repair it again. Ouyang Ling nodded, and then led people to rebuild the tomb of the 8th generation ancestor. After buying the best coffin for the 8th generation Taizu to be reburied, Ouyang Ling and her disciples of the Ouyang family bowed and bowed before opening the coffin. The coffin lid was opened, and Ouyang Ling personally collected the remains of the 8th generation Taizu. But while sorting out some of the buried utensils, Ouyang Ling suddenly saw a book. Ouyang Ling was stunned. What kind of book can survive so many years? With doubts, Ouyang Ling picked up the book without a name, but when she opened the book list, Ouyang Ling was stunned on the spot. There are only 4 words on the first page of the bibliography: the Holy Heart possessed. The surrounding Ouyang family disciples all gathered at this time. When they saw the handwriting on the book, all the Ouyang family disciples jumped up with excitement. Senior sister, yes, it is the inheritance of the Sacred Heart. The 8th generation Taizu is known as the first person in the Ouyang family to possess the spirit of the Sacred Heart. I never thought that his coffin would have the inheritance of the spirit of the Sacred Heart. Senior sister, look quickly and see if it's complete. All the Ouyang family disciples were so excited that they almost cried. Ouyang Ling also turned on the Sacred Heart attraction. At first glance, Ouyang Ling's mind was buzzing. The whole book. It's the real complete version. This is the complete Sacred Heart possession, even more powerful than the Sacred Heart possession I heard from my grandfather back then. Ouyang Ling and all the Ouyang family disciples knelt in front of the tomb of the 8th generation Taizu. The ancestors have blessed me, and I don't want to see my Ouyang family decline. The 8th generation of Taizu inherited the Sacred Heart and possessed the spirit. Ouyang Ling thanks all the ancestors. Ouyang Ling cried, tears of excitement at this time. The Ouyang family has been in decline for so many years, and was taken over by the Haotian sect and Brother Xinghe. The Ouyang family has been in good times, but the people of the Ouyang family are suffering every day. After all, senior brother Xinghe treated their Ouyang family like that, but the Ouyang family could only continue to disappoint senior brother Xinghe. Ouyang Ling was under a lot of pressure, so she tried new paths every day, but her operations were as fierce as a tiger's, and she finally saw 205. Not only did I not improve, I actually practiced to the point where my original level was gone. Ouyang Ling felt that she was so ashamed of senior brother Xinghe, but at this moment, the sudden possession of the Holy Heart made Ouyang Ling understand that the Ouyang family was about to rise. Sect. Brother Xinghe. Our Ouyang family is finally going to rise. Our Ouyang family is not trash. My Ouyang family is a family that has been passed down for thousands of years. The world's spiritual soldiers come out of Ouyang. Today, I, Ouyang Ling, have been possessed by the Holy Heart. With my qualifications, I, Ouyang Ling, will definitely surpass the 8th generation Taizu and become the #1 spirit possessor in the world. The sect and senior brother Xinghe have never failed my Ouyang family, and my Ouyang family will definitely live up to the sect. Ouyang Ling collected the spirit possessed by the Sacred Heart. She knew that when she returned to the sect this time, she would definitely be able to give senior brother Xinghe a big surprise. No. I can't tell senior brother Xinghe so early. I have to be steady. I have to fully master the possession of the Sacred Heart before giving senior brother Xinghe a surprise. Ouyang Ling led the Ouyang family to renovate the tomb of the 8th generation Taizu. Looking at the tombs of other ancestors in the ancestral tomb, Ouyang Ling fell into deep thought. You said that there are spirits possessed by the Sacred Heart in the tombs of these 8th generation ancestors, but in the tombs of other ancestors, do you want to dig it all out? In the end, Ouyang Ling stopped this idea. You still can't dig into your ancestral graves carelessly. If you dig them up and see that they are all the skeletons of your ancestors, it won't be easy to explain. So Ouyang Ling still stopped her inner impulse, but why is she still looking forward to it? Forget it, don't think about it now. Ouyang Ling ordered to go down and invite 20 cooks from the best jade house in Zhaoyang City to work at Ouyang's house today. Our Ouyang family is hosting a banquet today. Everyone is free to eat. No. Let's hire 40 cooks. After all, I am in a good mood today, and my appetite must be good, so I am prepared. Thinking of this, Ouyang Ling unconsciously started humming the little song that senior brother Xinghe liked to sing. Today is a good day, everything you wish for can come true. Senior brother Xinghe, just wait and see, Ouyang Ling will give you a big surprise soon.